Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marcy. Thank you for clicking on that thumbnail. Always showing up, showing your girl some love. We're going to be talking about the House of Suspiro today. I don't know much about them. I know there's a lot of gossip and a lot of news, but we're going to get into the fragrances. You guys know that I love the House of Xerjoff, and apparently they're like similar to the House of Xerjoff or some branching off, something like that. So I went over to Max Aroma because they were so similar in notes and in fragrance, the name. I just decided to order samples first of the ones that I thought that I may like, not the ones that I knew were masculine. I read some reviews and I just wanted to really, I blind buy a lot. But these are fragrances that I would dare not blind buy because I do have a large Xerjoff collection, and you guys know that I love Xerjoff. So I didn't want to buy duplicates of anything. The bottles are beautiful, very vibrant, colorful. The aesthetics are very pleasing. But based on one fragrance, which is Vibrato, that I smelled, I ordered a sample of from Lucky Sid a couple months ago. I said, you know what? I'm going to do samples first, and then, and that's that. So y'all, let's get into these fragrances. I have 5 samples. Leave me your scent of the day down. I forgot, scent of the night, scent of the day, scent of the evening. Leave that down in the comments. Today, my scent of the day, over on Instagram, I always wear. Sometimes I think that what I put on actually kind of gives me the vibes of my scent of the day. Like today, I wore something, beige, or what do you want to call this color? Not ivory, beige color or cream color. So I was feeling real vanillic and creamy and ambery. That's the same when it happens to me when I wear my scrubs to work. If I have on orange scrubs, I want to wear something a little more sultry and, maybe a little deep fruity. Or if I have on white scrubs, I want to wear vanilla. Or yellow scrubs, I want to wear something fruity. Or blue scrubs, I want to wear something clean. So I think my clothes sometimes dictate my mood, or my mood when I get up dictates the clothes that I wear, which dictates the scent that I wear. Okay, it's a whole plan, you guys. So anyway, or it's a whole vibe. So anyway, my scent of the day is Ombre Majique, yeah. Ombre Majique, and this is, like I said, the only one by Mise en Serre that I kind of fell in love with after sampling it. Trechier, the Praline one, For Your Love, like none of those I vibed with. I actually still have the samples, like maybe a little bit of each sample, and we weren't vibing, but this one I completely vibed with it, you guys. So this is a beautiful, and what I get from this fragrance, if you like the Harmonist Moon Glory, and I'm obsessed with the Harmonist Moon Glory. It's a beautiful honey, Hawaiian jasmine, lychee, very sultry, succulent, honey fragrance, honey and jasmine fragrance, and I absolutely love it. When I wear this, if you didn't watch my haul, this kind of reminds me of Not For Your Love. It reminds me of the Harmonist Moon Glory and the Drive Down, but of course not as sweet, but it's giving me those vibes. So if you like that fragrance, then most likely you're going to love this vanillic ambery fragrance. Yes, the notes don't do justice to the fragrance. I think the notes are orange blossom. There's rose, there's ambergris, which I get the freshness from. There's some mandarin, and but yeah, I don't get any of that in the scent. I get a beautiful warm vanillic scent with a little bit of honey and freshness, y'all. So anyway, get your nose on this fragrance, and this is Ombre Majique. Shall we continue? If you saw in the other clip, my face was sweating. Y'all, I had to turn on my AC, okay? It is California. It is warm on top of these internal summers that I'm having, okay? If you can relate, leave it down in the comments. I just watched a reel over on Instagram that Abby did, and she had her little fan, and, she was sweating, and it was getting hot, and these big lights and all that, y'all. Anyway, we love all of our subscribers and all of our friends and other reviewers on YouTube, and this is why we do it, even in the sweltering heat and these internal summers, y'all. So anyway, let's get into it. So the very first one we're going to discuss, I bought all of these, well, let me tell you where I bought the samples. I bought the samples from Max Aroma. They come in 5 mLs. I actually wish that they came in the original silver containers. They actually cut back on the juice. The bottles are pretty heavy and the packaging's pretty heavy on the samples, but I'd rather have more juice than the samples, you guys. But anyway, Max Aroma, you know, I guess you know what you're doing. I don't know. So the very first ones we're going to talk about today is going to be Dolce Melodia, and that's the one that I resonated with more because it's a little more feminine. I also have Accento Viola, Belcanto, Contralto. They're all EDPs. And then we have Vibrato. Like, you know, I sing, so, you know, in my head I sing. So I kind of know what these melodies and these are based on, like music or based on a voice, you know. So anyway, we're going to start with Dolce Melodia. And like I said, in this fragrance, I wrote down some notes. So in this one, I wrote Dolce Melodia. I said it smells like a lighter Italica because, ooh, y'all, when I first sprayed it, I completely got Italica, but not as rich and heavy as thick. So lighter Italica, airy, slightly fresh. I got a little bit of that mandarin and that rose in the dry down, but I got a lot of saffron. But it's not as, it's like, it smells like Italica without the milky, the praline, the thick heaviness. So if you didn't like Italica, then by the House of Xerjoff, which is like my #1, y'all, then you might like Dolce Melodia. But it gives you a little bit more of a rosy or a floral citrusy nuance in the dry down, but just a little bit. But overall, it smells like a very light, airy Italica. So I'm going to go ahead and spray this on my finger. Like I said, I tested these out earlier. You know, you have the sandalwood, saffron, mandarin, rose, musk in here. I think there's some patchouli in here as well. So literally, you get Italica and some mandarin, you know, some sandalwood. It's musky. It's nice. It's very nice, but you know, it's way too much like my Italica. So this is like Italica would be for the fall, winter, and maybe Dolce Melodia might be for the spring, summer. But yeah, I totally get it, and definitely test these. Do not test these on paper because I tested them on paper and then I tested them on skin. On paper, they were a little more chemical than they are on my skin, you guys. So literally, this is like a very airy Italica with some mandarin inside. And it's very nice, but like I said, it reminds me way too much of my Italica with a little bit of the praline, the saffron, without the milk, you know. It does get a little musky, not thick and creamy and lactonic like Italica. But yeah, Dolce Melodia, it smells a little nutty to me as well. I said I'm getting a little almondy scent in here, but maybe it's the praline that they're using in here, you know? But you definitely get, boom, Italica with some citruses, a light, airy Italica with some citruses and saffron, you guys. And that's Dolce Melodia. I'll tell you guys at the end, would I purchase these or would I pass? Maybe we'll name that video because I've been seeing it a lot, purchase or pass. So I'll let you know in the end, if I would purchase or pass on Dolce Melodia. Super feminine. I heard they have long longevity. I heard they had longevity. Good performance, but you know, I wore it on my skin for about 4 hours and then I went to wash everything off, you guys. So I just wanted to see if it would transition. So anyway, that is Dolce Melodia. So the next one we're going to get into is Belcanto. And this is another, let me show you the atomizers if you haven't seen them from Max Aroma. So it feels like there's leather on the outside. It's a little shaky in the inside. It has Max Aroma up there and it comes like that. And let me see if I can pull this out. And there's your 5 mLs of juice, you know? So in Belcanto, I put Belcanto is definitely unisex. I put woody, fresh. There's an animalic note in the opening when you initially spray it. Creamy, vanillic, spicy. I put it's giving ivory root, okay? If you guys know Ivory Root by the House of Xerjoff, immediately, like 5 seconds into it, I was like, what does this smell like? I know this smell. It is Ivory Root, okay? Ivory Root is giving me that same woody, warm, spicy, vintagey, almost like those kitchen cabinet spices. You know, that is what it is giving. I put in the notes, you have vanilla, you have jasmine, citruses, powdery notes. Ivory Root smells powdery, like a warm, spicy powdery as well. Warm, spicy, powdery, and ambery. And it says it has herbal notes in here. I also put in here, it smells a little bit of cardamomish, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and spray this. Let's spray this on my finger here. But yeah, it's giving Ivory Root. I have Ivory Root and I absolutely love it. So when I smell these fragrances, it's so super familiar, like beyond so familiar, super familiar. You know, to my nose, Ivory Root gives me that woody, warm, spicy, almost creamy, lactonic smell with a little bit of powdery vanilla. Yeah, this is literally giving Ivory Root, except Ivory Root to me is giving more vanilla and it is a little sweeter, you know? So yeah, I've smelled this for about 4 hours and yeah, that is my conclusion, you guys. Definitely Ivory Root in another bottle, you know? Let's go back and smell Dolce Melodia. Still giving Italica, you know, with a little bit of citrus and a little rose. It's pretty, you know. Definitely pretty. Like I said, if Italica was too heavy for you, you want some more citruses to be able to wear Italica in the summer, then you may want to get this one, you know. And this is giving Ivory Root all the way, minus some sweetness and some vanilla, okay? So the next one we're going to go to, and this, not Ivory Root, Belcanto is giving Ivory Root, and it's definitely unisex. I should have bought the Xerjoffs to compare, but I've been wearing them for so long that, y'all, I don't even have to look at them. I know the smells when I smell it. So the next one we're going to talk about is Contralto. And in Contralto, let's see what I put. It was a little chemical. It's a little chemical for 1 minute and screechy for 1 minute. I put creamy as well. It smells like yellow fruits. It smells real piney. It gets a little lactonic. This is the one that almost reminded me of like a yellow fruits milkshake, but it was a little piney. And there's cloves in here, pink pepper, orange blossom, which is probably giving that lactonic powdery smell, chestnut, peru blossom, and vanilla. So this one, I almost liked it, but then it got a little piney and almost like a little chemical. And it lasted for about a minute, but that piney, almost citrusiness, it almost killed it, you know? So anyway, Belcanto, let's go ahead and spray that. Now I'm going to be smelling like Suspiro today, you know, on top of my Ombre Majique. So yeah, it's actually almost giving me pine saw, but fruity pine saw, you know. Yeah, fruity, creamy pine saw. It's probably that Peru balsam that I'm smelling. The freshness from the pink pepper, I do get that. You know, the cloves, maybe it's the cloves and the pine mixed together. It's giving me almost pine saw, you know? Not pine, because it doesn't say pine. Maybe it's the cloves and the orange blossom and pink pepper mixed together. I put piney down there. But yeah, I almost like this one if it wasn't for the pininess of it, you know? But it's definitely giving creamy fruits. It's giving green. It's giving piney, you know. It's giving cloves, you know. This is almost wanting to smell like herb gold, but it is not because it's too warm, spicy, and a little too green. That's what it was because in the opening, I got like a burst of yellow fruits. And in Herba Gold, you definitely get a burst of yellow fruits like mangoes, peaches, you know, apricots. But this is sweet. It's slightly, I would say this is leaning feminine because of that fruity sweetness. But then it comes with this greenness and pininess and the warm spiciness from the cloves. That kind of makes it a little bit unisex if you like sweet fragrances. Slightly gourmand leaning because of the fruits in here. It smells like canned fruits, like the fruits in heavy syrup. So yeah, this is Belcanto by Suspiro. All right, the next one is Accento Viola. So I smelled this one. I had a actual decant this one before, and you guys know I had Accento for about 3 years, and I recently gave it away because it was a little too masculine for me, but I loved it. I tried wearing it a couple times, but in the dry down it got real woody, it got masculine, but I love the opening with the pineapple and the hyacinth, you know, the freshness of the fragrance. So in Accento Viola, let's see, I put down here feminine in the opening because of the fresh pineapple, and the smells like a little bit of pink pepper in here too. But then as it transitions, it gets real woody. It gets very masculine in the dry down. And this is why I gave my Accento away. This is more masculine and leaning more woodier than the original's Xerjoff Accento. So in here, you have, I put down here that it smells like anise and licorice as well. I don't know where that's coming from, but I was like, why am I smelling anise or licorice? The licorice scent, you know, but it doesn't list it. So, and I didn't get that licorice or anise smell in the original Xerjoff Accento. So I put on here fresh, leaning masculine. I put a little chemical in the opening, and you get that. I put on here, you got that anise and the licorice. Now in here, there's pineapple hyacinth, there's vetiver. Maybe it's the combination of the vetiver, because vetiver can be really earthy, and anise and licorice smells really earthy. Vetiver, iris, pink pepper, patchouli, vanilla, amber, and musk. I'm gonna go ahead and spray this again. I'm just gonna spray it in the box, you all, because I don't want to smell like Accento Viola. So yeah, you get that freshness. Like, I love Accento, and I really want to buy it again, but it makes no sense, you know, because of the woodiness and the you know, it was just a little too masculine for me. And I like some masculine fragrances, you know, so I wore that, but I wasn't reaching for it. So I knew that my friend, he loved the House of Xerjoff, so I ended up gifting it to him. So yes, you get the pineapple, the hyacinth, you do get that vetiver in there as well. You know, and like I said, I'm getting a little bit of anise or something, or some licorice in this fragrance, and the woodiness, and it gets a little more woody about maybe 2 hours into the fragrance. So this is Accento Viola. I love this. I would definitely recommend this for a guy. All right, the next one is Vibrato. So we all know I've tested Vibrato multiple times. I had a couple samples from Lucky Scent, and to my conclusion, I do have a, and you guys, I mentioned it before, so I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record. It smells like, I have a sample of Bulgari's Tiger, a 10 ml sample, because I wanted to smell it so bad about a year ago. And, you know, just for recommendations on my channel or over on Instagram, you know, people are like, oh, you know, there are males that DM me that ask me, what's the best masculine scent? I follow Hood Scents a lot, and he loves Bulgari Tiger. Bulgari Tiger. He loves it. So a couple years ago, based on his recommendations, I went and got a 10 ml travel size of Bulgari Tiger, and I fell in love with it as well, but I will not wear it, okay, because it's a little too masculine for me, but I will sniff it every now and then, just like Elysium, okay, by the House of Roja Dove. So in Vibrato, I put on here, well, we all know that there's grapefruit, bergamot, ginger is a lot of ginger, and that's what I absolutely love about Bulgari's Tiger. And also, I have a dupe for Bulgari's Tiger that many of my male followers on Instagram have purchased. It's Janoon Noir Oud. It's a dupe for Bulgari's Tiger. So yeah, it's like, why even buy the two? So anyway, there's grapefruit, bergamot, ginger. There's jasmine, magnolia, powdery notes. There's a lot of notes in here, y'all. Orris root. There's musk, amber, patchouli. I put on here citrusy, woody, fresh, gingery, I put really woody in the dry down. So this gets really woody in the dry down, you guys. But I love this fragrance. I would love smelling this fragrance on a man. It's absolutely amazing on a man. But does it make sense to purchase Vibrato when you can get Genuine Noir Oud? I mean, if you wanted Bulgari's Tiger and you can find Vibrato at an amazing price, then I would say that. But if you want to dupe, you guys, you can get Genuine Noir Oud, okay? So anyway, and they all smell exactly alike. Now this one is a little more zestier in the ginger department, a little more grapefruit. So this is, but it gets woodier in the dry down. And Bulgari's Tiger and Genuine Noir Oud kind of stays gingery, zesty, and fresh, you know, all the way through. So Vibrato, yes, it's intoxicating in the opening. It's mature. I love it. This is not for the young man. This is for the distinguished, the elegant, you know, the sexy man, okay? Or the woman that wants to smell a little more, you know, unisex, masculine. I would actually say this is not even unisex because it's only unisex in the opening. And that's for about maybe like the first 15 minutes. And then this starts to veer down the masculine, you know, down the masculine area. But the grapefruit, the ginger in here, the citruses in here are so beautiful. But when you first spray it, you get that zinginess. That'll make you fall in love, y'all. So make sure you do not buy this upon first sniff. Make sure you wear the entire fragrance, you know, for a couple days, full body at least, so you can really get the gist of what this fragrance smells like. But y'all, it's beautiful. The citruses, it almost smells a little limey, but it doesn't. Like lime, citruses. This is not sweet at all, but it's very citrusy, zingy, fresh, and woody. So that is it. So let's go. Oh, we'll talk about a couple other samples too that and what is my AC? Is my AC still running, you guys? Because it's getting a little warm in here again. You know, every time I seem to get, you know, maybe I just need to be a little subdued and relaxed. And, you know, I get excited when I talk about perfume. So maybe if I just sit and just be like, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. You know, maybe I won't sweat. But, you know, hey, fragrances make me excited, y'all. So... All right, so the next one we're going to talk about is Sunscape. This is my second sample of Sunscape. I had this last year. I had one last year, and I ordered another one because people are talking about it. Now I was like, let me order this again. But I know that when I smelled Sunscape, I can't remember. She never really does YouTube reviews anymore. But she's the one many, many years ago. Unknown Pleasures, about 4 years ago, I found Unknown Pleasures via her. Well, she loves the House of Gallagher, and she talked about Sunscape, but she loves Sunscape. So I ordered a sample. I have Rosé All Day. I have a vanilla. I have the chocolate fragrance from the House of Gallagher, and I have a sample kit. And I know some of their fragrances are like, you know, a little touchy. So some are super femme, some are super woody, some are, you know, unisex, masculine, all that. So here. Now, I remember liking it, but I remember that it made me a little nauseous. So that is why I did not get Sunscape. But it's very, if you like melons, if you like citruses, if you like a sweet fragrance, then you may want to try this. But this definitely leans feminine, you know. But you get... It almost smells like a juice, you know, like a melon juice or water. It smells like watermelon juice, you know, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon. It smells like a bowl of melons with some, you know, with some sweeteners or something on top. It's really good. It's good, but I don't know if I'll be able to wear this. This is something, I'm so glad that I didn't buy the full bottle. It almost smells like nail later too, a watermelon nail later, you know, which is a candy that you grew up buying back in the day. That's only if you grew up in the hood, you guys, because they don't have nail laters everywhere. Now and later. See, I call them nail laters, okay? So anyway, yeah, it's... smells like cantaloupe, watermelon, and honeydew juice, you guys. So it's nice, but you have to love the note of melon, and you have to love a sweet fragrance. I also get some vanilla in here, like woodiness, like maybe some sandalwood. You know, it's nice, but when I wear the fragrance full body, because I had another like another small tester. I wore it to work, and I think it was making me nauseous that day. I think it was too much. It was too overpowering. Maybe I sprayed on too much, but that kind of, you know, veered me away from the fragrance. But if you, like I was saying, y'all, before my phone decided that I didn't have enough storage, you may like this, you know, if you want like a melon, almost like a honeydew cantaloupe watermelon scent with some citruses, you all. So yeah, it's nice, but definitely not a safe blind buy. Definitely test Sunscape first, okay? And this is by the House of Gallagher Fragrances. I also want to get my nose on Tonka, which is a black currant sandalwood scent. I know their fragrances are usually heavy and durable. So I'd say the House of Gallagher, make sure you order samples, because nothing is a safe blind buy from that house. Their fragrances are like atomic bombs, you guys. Rose all day. I'm trying to see if that might be in a declutter soon, because I don't wear it because I'm just so afraid of it smelling like, you know, so powerful on me. And anyway, let's get into a couple other samples. Now, I did sample, this is my second sample of Goldfield and Banks Ingenious Ginger. I ordered a second sample of this. I really like it. It's not a super zesty ginger. You get more of a little bit of that creamy sandalwood, a fresh creamy sandalwood and a ginger scent. I really like it, but I kind of feel like it would get lost in the sauce amongst all of my other fragrances, and I probably wouldn't reach for it. I would say if you already have Sunset Hour, then yeah, because the ginger is not gingering in that fragrance like, you know, Bond Number 9's New York, My New York, or other fragrances with a heavy or vibrato. This is a very light, airy ginger, non-offensive scent. It's a really nice fragrance, but it's very airy, light, watery. This is, I would say, this is a fragrance that you could buy for somebody, and somebody that wears fragrances, or maybe just getting into fragrances, they would probably like this. It's super, super non-offensive. Probably, you know, one of the most loved and easy reach for fragrances if you have this in your collection. So Ingenious Ginger, pretty, but if you're looking for a ginger heavy fragrance or a moderately ginger fragrance, then this is not the one for you, okay? Definitely test it. But it's nice, you know? It's just nice. Nice enough for the price. It's nice enough for $50, you know? But that's probably it. The next one is Strangers. I think it's Strangers Perfumery, and this is Cherry Amaretto. They talked about, I think over on Instagram, how good this cherry fragrance was, and I was so tempted to buy it because I do love the note of cherry in fragrances, but I was like, I don't need another cherry. I just purchased Simone Andreoli's Vice Bomb, so I decided to buy a sample of this. This actually smells like cherry amaretto. It does have a really decadent cherry in the opening, but in the dry down, I literally get cherry amaretto. So if you like fragrances, like it has a little bit of cherry, more cherry on top in the opening, and the vanilla is good as well. If you like fragrances like Giussette's Accident à la Vanille, this is a flanker almond cake, because this literally smells like marzipan and cherry, and that is what these two fragrances are giving me. Both are similar. If you have one, you don't need the other. They're both giving the same vibes, you guys. Another one I decided to, I think this is Born to Stand Out, and this is Drunk Saffron. I tried the cherry one too. It was nice. I like all of these fragrances that I've tested. I've tested about 4 of them. I like Drunk Saffron and the dry down, you guys. I love the cherry one and the dry down more. So they're not like, you know, oh, they're so amazing, but they are nice fragrances. I got a sample. This is actually my second sample. I got a sample from Lucky Scent of Drunk Saffron because of the name initially, and I was about to blind buy this, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I thought it was going to give me a little more saffron, but it's giving a little more gourmandish leaning vanilla in the dry down, and some saffron as well. But it's pretty, you know, it's nice, it's gourmand leaning, it's saffrony, but yeah, not a safe blind buy. The next one is I have so many of these samples from Lucky Scent. This is Kai's Perfumes, and this is Coco a la Vanilla. Now this I almost purchased too. This is pretty. This is an amazing coconut fragrance. If you like, maybe like coconut gelato, it smells like maybe coconut shavings, like fresh coconut shavings on, you know, this, when I smelled this, this was nostalgic. This took me back to Thailand, because in Thailand, they have fresh coconut gelato everywhere, on the beach, on the corners, everywhere, and they sprinkle it with coconut, and it actually has the coconut flakes inside. So when I smelled this fragrance, I was quickly transported back to this one ice cream shop, because it was sweet, creamy. It was so good. I ate it like every day, a couple times a day when I was over there, and this was like 7 years ago. But yeah, this completely took me back. This is really good. Is it full bottle worthy for the price? Yes, I believe it is. If you want a really fresh, realistic, slightly sweetened gourmand coconut shaving gelato smelling scent. But I really like this one, so maybe later on I may possibly buy a full bottle. So we're gonna go through if I would keep or pass, or smash or pass. I did a smash or pass like 2 years ago, and my sister thought it was a little vulgar, because you know the understanding behind smash or pass, but I posted it anyway. So anyway, which ones would I smash and which ones would I pass? Okay. So Belcanto, I am passing on Belcanto. Because Belcanto was giving me that citrusy chemical. I love the fruity aspects of Belcanto, but I didn't like that piney citrusy in there. It smells a little chemical. Let's see, Dolce Melodia. I am passing on Dolce Melodia, but I would say if Italica was too much for you and you want a little more citrus, brightness, airiness on Italica, but a little lighter, then I think you should try Dolce Melodia, you know. The next one, but I'm gonna pass because I love Italica. I love the heaviness, the creaminess, the praline, all the heavy saffron in Italica. I get it all. Accento Viola. I'm passing on Accento Viola, but I would recommend this for a man. If you love pineapple, if you love hyacinth, on a man, for me, this would be an amazing summer fragrance. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Accento Viola. Now we have Vibrato. I would definitely recommend Vibrato. If I was a man, I would wear, or if I loved masculine leaning scents, I would definitely wear Vibrato, because I actually thought about getting Vibrato because I thought it smelled a little more unisex and I'll be able to tolerate it, but it got way too woody for me, y'all, okay? And like I said, I like masculine leaning scents. So Vibrato, definitely recommend it if you love masculine scents, but I would love smelling this on a man. And the next one is Suspiro Contralto. Yeah, I'm going to pass on Contralto, okay? Anyway, y'all, that is all. Go out to the world, spread amazing sillage, do good, be good, all of that. And I'm wondering what's going to come out smelling like more of the richness of Herba Gold. I might get might try the Herba Pura Oud. And I think that's pretty much it. All right, love you all. Bye-bye. Mwah.